you guys to take a look at a structure called the brachial plexus. The brachial plexus. It arises out of the fifth, sixth, seventh cervical, in between them and the first thoracic vertebra, and it's the nerve trunk that holds all of the sensory and motor innervation for the arm. Now, one thing that we'll often encounter when people have shoulder, arm, and hand problems is that people will have all sorts of funny sensory experiences in their hands. It's a very typical thing. There's a nerve called the median nerve, which is responsible for emerging out of the brachial plexus, which is responsible for controlling the sensory and motor experience of the thumb and first two fingers. And then the ulnar nerve, which is the very famous, what's called the funny bone. When you hit yourself here on the inside of your elbow, the ulnar nerve comes very close to the surface, and you'll often feel the sensation right down these two fingers. That's because this is the area that the ulnar nerve controls. Okay? So often when you've got neck problems and shoulder problems, tightness in this area where the brachial plexus emerges out of the neck and begins to make its passage between the scapula, in front of the rib cage, underneath the clavicle, right, in this area here. If you've got some tightness and some gathering in here, it can often create interesting sensory experience all through, people with a lot of numbness, coldness, etc. of the upper extremities have some kind of impingement on the brachial plexus. So the first move that I'm going to show you on Wendy today has to do very generally with opening up this junction between the neck and the shoulder. Okay, so we're going to be working on muscles like the trapezius, like the levator scapula. Those are the ones we're really going to be getting a hold of here with this move that I'm about to show you. And it's designed to see if you've got a client on your table who's having altered sensory experience in their arm. It's designed to see if there's something going on in this area which can be relieve the impingement on the brachial plexus. Now, one thing as we begin this work, because not right away, but after a couple of moves, I'm going to place Wendy's arm like this. How's that position for you? Is that fine? Now, for a lot of people, that's not fine. Okay? So what I do is I make a nice fat towel roll with two rolls here so that I can support the arm like this. Now, if your client can lie easily in this position without the towel rolls, that's great. That makes the work that much easier. But particularly people with shoulder problems, over half of the time you're going to need to use a towel roll. So I just have it handy, just like a bolster for the legs and a face rest, as a tool that I'll need to have handy as I work. Okay, so this morning, again, let's remember the theme of this group. What we're not doing is training classical deep tissue practitioners. What we're doing is we're teaching massage practitioners who already have ways of working that you like, that you're familiar with. What we're doing is we're teaching you techniques from deep tissue work to integrate into your work. Okay, that's what we're doing here this week. So whatever ways that you guys have already of warming up the neck and shoulders for a few minutes before you begin, let's all do that. Again, I want to take advantage of that slow, long stroking capability that massage work has to hopefully begin to help her unwind. I'm just going to start out with a move that I really like, and I'll show you two variations of it. Heads and necks are very heavy, so anytime you're moving a head and neck around the table, please keep your forearms and hands on the table and let the table carry the weight of the head and neck as much as you can. Anytime that you're picking the head and neck up off the table, you're creating an extra stress for your body. And if you're going to do that, please don't do it like this. Okay? See if you can keep some kind of a fulcrum, like your forearm or your elbow, in contact with the table. That will make things much easier for you.